Hey guys, welcome to Girls Frontline 2. So if you wish to know if you've saved enough for Klukai or do you need more, this file here I was able to get in Reddit. You may actually check the link of this file in the description of this video so that you could have reference to this. But before you check this file out offline or after this video, I'll just have to make sure that you understand on how to read this file, because this at first glance is going to confuse everybody, including me actually, when I first took a look at it. So the first level here, the first bunch of numbers here, this is going to be assuming no signature weapons are going to be pulled. Okay, so you're just gonna be pulling for the operative or the character. The next one, the next level is going to be assuming that you're pulling for weapon R1, so only one copy. And the last level is assuming you're pulling for R6 signature weapon, which usually nobody does. So unless you're a super whale or whatever, you could actually go for this. But most of you guys are going to be concentrating on no signature weapon or assuming one copy of the signature weapon. So let's focus on these two files. Okay, so how to understand, to assume whether you're on track or not. Okay, so for fortification level, it's going to be V0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, of course. And let's start off with this one, the top one. Rolls required for each probability. So this is based on the probability. So the higher the probability, assuming you're gonna need more rolls, definitely. So as you accumulate more rolls, the higher the probability that you'll be getting a certain doll at a certain vertebrae. Okay, this is what it means. So example, I do have 200 pulls. Okay, so if I do have 200 pulls and I want to get Klukai at V1, I will be in between 75 and 90% to get her at V1. So that is just an example. Definitely you'll get her at V0. But for the 200 pulls, if you base it on V1, it is between 75% and 90% for V1. If you're wishing for the 200 pulls to be at V2, you're going to be here 94, 194, or between 184 and 241. So that's for V2 already. So 25% to 50%, let's say you're going to be at 35. Let's say example. If you're wishing for your 200 pulls to be at V3, probability is very low, because at 226 pulls, that's only even at 10%. So your 200 pulls will most likely go towards V1. That this is a higher percentage as well. This is going to 90%. So at V0, you'll be getting her sure at 100%. But at V1, there is between 80 to 85% a possibility that you could get her at V1 with 200 pulls. So that is what this file is actually telling us. So if you're going to go with Klukai for 200 pulls, assuming that you also want the signature weapon, so for V0 alone, you'll be here. It's a much lesser probability because, again, this includes your signature weapon. So at V0, there's a 92%, 93% chance that you'll get her at V0. And if you're wishing to get her at V1 with 200 pulls, it's gonna be lower as well. So it's gonna be here. It's gonna be at 40, I think, 35 at V1. So it's least likely if at 200 pulls, you're more likely to get her at V1 without her weapon than here with her weapon. So this basically at 200 pulls, you'll be getting a V0 Klukai and a signature weapon. That is basically what it's gonna be looking like. Okay, so now that we understood the probabilities here for X number of polls, the expected rolls. So I'm not sure how they were able to come up with the numbers here, but there's a formula here for the expected number of rolls. So if you want to base your polls here, if let's say you haven't saved, I'm at 0. If I want to assume that I want to get Klukai at V0 with no signature weapon, you need at least 80 pulls or 79.32 or 79. Okay, if you want to get her with no signature weapon at V1, you need at least 159 pulls. So that is how you read the rightmost column here. So this is based on if you're still basically running after X number of pulls. So X number of pulls gets you at V0, V1, V2, so on and so forth, based on the number of expected rolls here. This one is the probability based on the current number of polls you have or saved. Okay, so I hope you guys are able to understand this file. I'm not sure. Honestly, this is not my file, but this is a very helpful file to know. I'll give you guys a link of the Reddit file or the link on Reddit for this one, so that you might also ask some questions there on the poster for this file. So again, that is more or less the gist of this file. You can use this as well with other operatives if you want to prepare, especially for vector. A lot of people I hear are preparing for vector. A lot of people are also preparing for Springfield. So you might use this file as an assumption on how many at least you need to pull. There are a lot of questions that have been thrown to me. Is 17,000 collapse pieces, enough for blah, 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 blah. So what you do is collapse pieces divided by 50. That is the number of pulls that you'll be getting out of those collapse pieces. Then you try to check here in this file here. Let's say 17,000. Let's say 15,000. You divided by 150. I'm not sure how many pulls that, but you check it within here on where it gets you. This is like a meter. Let's say the result is, for example, 100 pulls. Let's say, for example, I'm not sure if it's the right computation, but let's say it's going to be 100 pulls. So your 100 pulls is going to take you just here between 50% and 75% for 100 pulls. So that is how you basically try to check if you're on track or how much do you need for a certain level. So this one is how much you need for a certain level. This one is checking if you're on track if you want to reach a certain vertebrae for a doll. So that is it. I hope you guys understand this. I'll try my best to answer questions in the comment section, but you could try to use this as a basis for your pulls or your savings now and for future dolls. Guys, thank you very much for staying this far. Take care, stay safe. This is the Warden, and I'm out of here.